The Energized Show, up the Irish.
Okay, lads. Ross, try and look a little less nervous. Jordan, look more nervous. Okay, here we go.
What's up, lads?
Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized, brought to you by Or Kings Competitions. Ross,
intoxicated or something?
Introduce the guest, man.
Today we have the one and only pro. It's the one and only. It's Jordan Bradshaw, fresh off a win from ARES 30. He's competing on ARES 34 next. Jordo, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing absolutely incredible, lads. Thanks very much for having me on.
Oh,
Really
absolutely. Absolutely. Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong. The only Irish fighter to ever fight on ARES.
I think I am, yeah. I really am, yeah. I think it's the first fighter to fight in ARES to win, so chuffed about that. Good little name in the history books.
Yeah, absolutely. That's incredible. And tell us this about the show, because I feel like ARES is sort of like, you know, the French Cage Warriors or LFA. Like it's a really big show. It's really well run. Like it's such a professional setting. Did you feel that when you're over there the first time out?
Definitely. To be honest with you, like obviously I've seen the embedded episodes and watched UFC over the years. Like, genuinely feels like the top level. Like, you know what I mean? Like the media obligations, the photo shoot, everything's just done to a T. And when you're going to these amateur shows and you're seeing everything just a bit like sloppy with timeouts and all, everything's just, there's 101 people just on the ball, ready. If like every media person, everyone just has a backup. So it's good to see. Like, and like when I got there and all, they're giving me, like, they literally pay for me week. You know what I mean? Like, for collecting me, like it was so very high level production, like, and such a good show.
Yeah, Jordan, can you tell us how the ARES partnership came about? Because obviously you're part of Team CMAC, and like a lot of the fighters there are fighting under the Cage Warriors banner, and then also Kaya is part of PFL.
Well, like, of course, I'm sure everyone knows this from my previous interviews and with other guys, but like, it's not that I don't want to follow my teammates. It's just everyone wants to be in the UFC, and I'm not. And the UFC is the best. Like, the UFC is without the best in the world. But my goal was always to be a one championship fighter. My dream is to fight in Japan in one championship. So I feel like if I took a different route from the boys going to Cage Warriors, and I get the one at some point in my life. But to be honest with you, that was all down to my management team, Barry from Alpha Fighter Management. He sorted that. So I had three pullouts. I was meant to fight 3 different opponents there last year, the end of last year, and I was just saying, yeah. I was in camp for about 6 months, so I was literally just so ready to fight, and just never really happened. And then one day Barry goes, I'm after getting offered to sign a deal with ARES at bantamweight, and I was just like 100%, like, I'll do anything to get me to one. And if that's to fight the hardest and best person it is, like, if you look from the amateur record, I never really said no to anyone. And I know professional, you're probably supposed to take a more strategic route and like think about your opponents. But I feel like when I get the one championship and fight all these toys, Russians, I can't really say, oh, but give me him or give me that. So I feel like when I signed that deal with ARES, I knew it was going to be hell for leather straight off the bat. And I knew it wasn't going to be like fighting people that I probably have a better chance to beat. It's probably going to ARES, so it's 50-50. And that's what I always wanted, the hardest cunts. But Barry sorted that out, and then when the head promoter saying that it was all game ball, they offered me, after my first fight, they offered me a 4-fight deal. The way when my attitude was, so I said, yeah, 100%. And then this next fight, yeah, man. So I signed with bantamweight, but this fella said he couldn't make bantamweight about 5 weeks ago, and Alex asked for a catchweight, and he said he couldn't make it. So again, like, I didn't want to tell ARES, no, I'm not fighting because it's up away. I just said, yeah, let's fight. So
That's epic to hear, but
yeah, definitely, and very interesting that he hasn't 5 weeks out saying he can't make the weight. That seems
no,
bit bizarre. And tell us this. Obviously, you have, you know, the extensive amateur background. You know, I mean, I think you fought in every show in the country. You fought like some guys who were also doing incredibly well at pro, like Lewis Byrne fights this weekend. You fought him twice, I think. Kieran Brady, a few other top names in Rowan Deegan, a few other top names in Irish MMA. This guy doesn't seem to have an amateur background from what I can see. Does that make it harder to prepare for?
That's the thing. Alex and Keto and Jake, they're always on the ball. They're always looking at their opponents, sussing them out, game planning. We can't really find much footage on this fella. Even on a smooth comp, we can't really find much. But we just know from others, we just know he's a BJJ black belt. He's a grappler orientated. But I'm going in there to do what I do best and perform, you know what I mean, to fight. So whoever gets put in front of me, my goal is to win, and that's it.
Yeah. Jordan, can I ask you as well about your amateur background as well, the way you fought in the IMAs and the IMAFs and like so consistently, like how much do you think that's actually developed your game? Because like not every gym does do that, and like CMAC have obviously done it for a long time, and also the whole entire team is undefeated as professional.
I feel like without a doubt, shadow of a doubt, other clubs might not agree with it because of like none of the lights aren't on you. The people, like all the gargle fans screaming and all that, you don't have any of that impact when you're in the IMAFs. But the difference at the IMAFs is you could have like 2, 3, 4 fights in 3, 4 days, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you're not going against someone who is like Instagram or loves the social media. You're going against some Russian or Kazakhstanian, and they're probably like, they don't know anything about social media, and they're working their life, and all they eat, sleep, and breathe is training. So I feel like going against someone, against that type of breed of fire, will always benefit you more against going under the lights or anything. Of course, the more you fight underneath the lights, the more easier it gets. But I feel like the level of fighters is always going to be higher in the IMAFs than any other show in the world.
And tell us that, obviously, you touched on it just there, underneath the lights. Obviously, you know, when you walk out in the Adidas Arena for the second time, like that first time, that must have been huge. That must have been like the biggest arena. I know the IMAF, sometimes they have the big arenas, but like there might be 4 or 5 cages there at the one time. Like this, like obviously that was like quite a large arena, quite a lot of people there. Did you feel nervous in that moment, or did you feel like this is where you're meant to be?
I feel like throughout my amateur career, I feel like nerves took a huge part in my game. My mindset a week in the lot, especially halfway during my career. It was my first fight to Lewis. I feel like my mindset a week in the lot. But after that fight, and we fought for the second time, and it was a good fight. But I feel like my brain went like from 0 to 110. Like, you know what I mean? I just realised what I had to do now. I feel like I was running away from what you're meant to do instead of like running from the nerves or like avoiding the nerves. I say, like, I ask for more nerves. I basically say, give me all the nerves, give me all the pressure. And I know the saying is pressure makes diamonds, but I believe pressure is a privilege, because when people ask what it's like to fight, I feel like the only people that can answer that is the people who get into the cage and fight.
Yeah, 100%. I think John Mitchell said that pressure is a privilege to us before, and just really spoke of Simmerelk, that at the end of the day, very few it's a very minute percentage of people who can get into a cage and fight, and it's even smaller minute amount of people who can get it in to do it in front of a stadium full of fans as well. So that is something that is incredible to see, and it's incredible to have followed your journey from amateur now into the pro ranks. I know we've spoke before, and you said you do want that ONE FC route, but after you sort of complete this 4-fight deal with ARES now, are you open to all promotions coming in ask for a bit of Jordan Bradshaw?
I suppose, like, to be honest with you, all I care about is just to progress. Like, if I know I'm gonna beat a fella, like, let's say he has like his record is like, I don't know what, 3-9 or something. Like, he probably have a serious black belt, 100 fights in Muay Thai. He's probably a serious experienced fighter, but I just want to fight the best fighter. You know what I mean? I want to fight someone that I know that's gonna bring out the best in me, gonna like give me challenges. You know what I mean? But that's what I always want to when I look fight.
For the people tuning in now, Jordan is back in action on ARES 34, September the 13th in Paris. Jordan, you obviously won your debut in May. Like, what was your reaction like after that? Because like from looking at all the social media stuff, like things absolutely blew up.
Yeah, it definitely blew up. That was like, of all the people I fought in Army, well, I think I have like 7, 8 novice fights and 24 amateur fights. Yeah, man, I fought there. Wabi was very different. Like, it was the first time I was fighting a taekwondo based fighter. Like, so even when I fought through like fully extent me like range, I still felt like I was far out. And like, of course, I didn't be out of the cage for 2 years. I feel like that played probably an impact. But again, it's down to me and my being moment in that cage. I think it was the first time in my career I had to be an offensive grappler. I know. So actually, it worked out in the end. I'm glad I got the nod in the end. But I knew your man definitely came to fight, and he was a great fighter.
Yeah, 100%. And it was great to see you get your hand raised as well. Because one thing I will say, with you fighting on ARES, one thing that I think is a massive benefit for you and your team, and like and your management team as well, is that you're the only Irish person fighting on that card on that night. So then, therefore, all eyes are on you. So it makes the fights a bigger deal on the Irish MMA scene, because it's like, oh, Jordan Bradshaw's fighting ARES tonight. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, the Cage Warriors nights in Dublin are massive and people love them and that. Yeah. But like, if you don't have maybe a standout win, you could potentially get lost in the sauce, as the kids would say. You know what I mean? But you're out there creating a new path, and I think it's something that I'd love to see. I'd love to see more Irish fighters fight on a show like ARES as well.
Yeah, no, I do pay attention. Like, there's that show. Like, there's one show I'd love to get on maybe in the future. I know Pat Lehan fought on a Japanese show. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. You know what I mean, being able to like tell stories in your all. You went on, you fought in Japan and all. You fought in these crazy shows. Like, look, Lewis is fighting in Norway, I think. You know what I mean? Alex is fighting in Rome. Like, just all these different types. Like, no matter what show it's on, I think just the experience of getting on them type of shows and getting on them type of promotions is good. But I am grateful that I am on a show like ARES. It is a top tier promotion.
Yeah, I think they're grateful to have you as well, especially the way all your clips went bananas online as well. Jordan, we obviously can't let you go without talking about how the CMAC team are getting on at the moment. Like, as we said earlier, the whole team's undefeated or pro. What's going on in the gym? And is it true that it's all down to Gaz Hickey?
Fuck that. Played Gaz Hickey on his assault bike. I was on it this morning. I'm in work in the morning, so I'm not gonna be with them in the morning. So I went to Gaz there this morning. So I got my strength and conditioning in. And to be honest with you, I feel like our technical abilities and fighting wise, we're all very confident when it comes to the match. But I feel like we just have that extra bit of confidence now in ourselves, knowing that we're stronger, knowing that we're getting to that, like when we're out of breath, when we're going like matches like last 30 seconds of the last round. Gaz is like mimicking that, like, you know what I mean? He's getting us to that point of when we're breaking, our body's giving in. We're all fatigued, you know what I mean? And then he's pushing us again to see what more our mind can give it, and like having Gaz on board for us, like, it's really is remarkable. And if you miss a Gaz Hickey session, like, I feel like you do feel shit in yourself, you know what I mean? Because you don't realise of what it's gonna do to you, you know what I mean? It is tough. And some of the boys, I'm not naming names, but some of them miss it because they know how hard it's gonna be.
Call them out there quick.
No, I'm not.
But you know what they say, cardio makes a coward out of man, and it's true.
It's very true, you know what I mean? Like, getting to that point of like when people just see when you get Shark, I'm sure you heard of Shark Tanks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no point, you know what I mean? I'm sure Paul Hughes is deep in it now because Paul Hughes is showing a serious confidence. They're saying that he's going to break Usman, and we all know how hard Khabib pushes the Dagestanians, you know what I mean? So Paul Hughes is obviously putting himself through that type of uncomfortable situations, that type of places that he doesn't want to be in, because he knows when he goes into fight, he's going to fit. It's going to be much better. Like 10-20 rounds in sparring is probably the equivalent of 1 round in a fight. And I feel like Gaz Hickey definitely makes us feel like we're doing a lot more than 10 rounds.
And tell us this, the people will definitely want to know home. Who's the fastest on the CMAC team?
It's me. I'm actually not even. It's me.
Oh yeah, we in fairness, we see you win most of the races.
No, it's me. Like, to be honest with you, Conor Nolan, when Conor Nolan on his day, he has me on his day. But I'd say, like, endurance wise, long wise, I'd say it's me. But my 100-meter sprint, Alex nearly had me there 2 weeks ago. He nearly had me there. It was touch and base, but I feel like I edged it that bit more.
And who's got the best gas tank? Who can go the longest?
To be honest with you, now, I feel like we're all equally the same. You know what I mean? Like, in run, maybe like in different habits. No. I feel like even when it comes to rolling, when it comes to jiu-jitsu, I feel like Jake Noy, like, you know what I mean? He probably might not be the best sprinter around, but like, the fella's probably one of the best bench pressers in the gym. And then like when it comes to grappling, the fella have like unlimited gas tank. Then when it comes to sparring, Keto and Alex, like their pressure is just like unlimited. You know what I mean? It feels like they don't stop. You know what I mean? When it comes to wrestling, Conor Nolan and Henry is just non-stop coming at you. But I suppose when it comes to like the assault bike and stuff like that, I feel like we're all good. I feel like we're all balanced. But I guess we have that around each other because everyone's just pushing each other.
No,
And can I ask you one last question on Gaz Hickey's training, right? You know when he takes the videos of you training all the time?
Yeah.
Why is Trev always just standing in the background doing nothing?
That's Trev. That's just Trev. Yeah. To be fair though, Trev.
No, he's in great shape. He's best shape I've seen him in.
Yeah. Not to be fair, no. The last a few months ago, Trev wasn't with Gaz now, but now he's with Gaz nearly every time with the boys. He's not missing it. And I feel like Trev is over the last few years. Trev was always a hard worker, but ever since he went pro, he's 10 times more dialed in than I ever seen him. Like if he's staying after class, he's coming early. Like he's always dialed in, doing his own stuff. And there's me shadowboxing. That's just me there thinking and looking at Trev.
Fair.
Yeah, I just want to put this out before we wrap things up, guys, as well. Obviously, Jordan's back on ARES on the 13th of September. Then next up will be Kyle O'Sullivan on the 26th of September. That will be in France as well in PFL. And then you have to look, you have to look out for,
September 27th, Cage Warriors.
Yeah, September 27th, Cage Warriors. Joe Doyle, Keith Kyo, Trevor McKengo.
And then Alex is the week later.
Then Alex O'Sullivan will be fighting in Italy on the 4th of October. So things are absolutely flat out. Ross, what did you have to say? Sorry.
I just want to ask. Obviously, the pro team is undefeated at the moment. Is there pressure in the gym on keeping that undefeated run going, or is it just so much support for each other that it doesn't actually feel like pressure?
I feel like pressure is just down to the individual thing. Like, you know what I mean? No matter what, when we're doing the sparring or we're doing like the burner sessions, I feel like we're all looking at each other. Like if you see someone slowing down, or if you feel like someone, like we do this thing, well, I'm sure most gyms do it, putting our hands up, or we'll always have a burner around. Like if Keto sees people, we do like the mat returns. If we see people slowing down, you'd hear Keto saying, "Come on, lads!" And then like if you hear we were doing a burner, you'd hear Alex screaming saying, "Stop slowing down!" You know what I mean? So I feel like we all keep everyone accountable when it comes down to that last push and pushing each other. So I feel like pressure is not even a thing. We're just so reliable and trust each other in our ability. So
pressure, what pressure?
Exactly.
Jordan, is there anything else?
The two, but all of us fighting on the pros. But I was gonna say the two lads, Henry Leck and Conor Nolan, are also fighting on the Ireland team in the Georgia in the World Championships the same week as Keith, Trevor, and Joe. So
yeah, fair play as well. Two top lads, you know what I mean? I know Henry's wrestling is unbelievable. I spoke. He was up in Team Rhino doing a session with Bill McCann. Bill McCann said he's very, very good. So that's always good to hear.
Yeah, I call him Monstrino. That's my Snapchat name from. I think it means little monster in Portuguese.
Love it.
He's played deadly, is Henry.
Yeah. And Conor Nolan, very skillful, but geez, that man has lovely hair.
No. I should say he's actually a triplet. Conor Nolan is actually a triplet, and two of them are identical, and then the other one doesn't look like them. But all three of them have the long hair. So when two of them come into training, like Sean Nolan, he's a fighter as well. He hasn't fought in a while, but you get to see them. You're like, is that Sean or is that Conor? Yeah, I know.
Especially from behind.
Yeah, exactly. And they both wear the same. They always mix and match each other's training gear, so you actually definitely don't know who's which.
Actually, you just try and batter them both.
Yeah, exactly. They know that as well.
Jordan, right? So as we said, you're back on September 13th in Paris. Is there anything you want to say to the people tuning in now that will be tuning in to ARES 34 September 13th?
Yeah, just make sure you're watching entertainment. That's what you're going to see.
Perfect. Jordan, thank you very much for your time, bud. We'll speak to you again soon.
Thanks very much, boys. I really appreciate it.
The Energized Show, up the Irish.
So, Ross, that was Jordan Bradshaw. Your favourite CMAC fighter, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Kikyo.
So, shout out to CMAC as well. And shout out to Gaz Hickey. What he's doing there is It's incredible work. And if you are new to the show, make sure to like and subscribe because we are here every week, Ross, aren't we?
Yeah, we are every single week. You better believe it. It's like a broke clock. We are. We're right twice a day. We're here once a week.
Some people love it. Some people hate it, Ross.
Some people do hate it.
Some people do love it, man.
Loads of people love it, man. 1 or 2 people hate it.
Kiko hates it though, definitely, man.
No, he just hates that we support United. If he supported Liverpool, he'd love us. We'd love him.
Yeah, man. Look, we might need to go to MMA therapy.
Yeah.
But what's going down this weekend is UFC Paris. Ross, 2 Irish are fighting on the card. Shauna Bannon and Rhys McKee. They're both back, baby. How excited are you for UFC Paris this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely buzzing. Both of them are coming off massive wins. Both of them are coming off 50k bonuses. Both of them will look to replicate those bonuses next time out. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Live from the Accor Arena. Shauna Bannon, I think, is going to open up the show against Sam Hughes. Shauna Bannon taking a massive step up in competition. Sam Hughes has 10 UFC fights. Shauna Bannon only has 8 professional MMA fights. This is going to be an absolute massive fight for Shauna Bannon as she looks to make a step towards the top 15 rankings. She's the underdog in this fight. I think that's based on experience, not necessarily based on skill level. But I think Shauna Bannon, she's got a style that not many female fighters have. With the way she throws the side kicks, the way she comes in with blitzes on her strikes, not many women will be used to that style. And not many women actually, I feel, come with an elite striking background. So I think that's what sets her apart from the pack. And I think if she can keep this fight standing on the feet, I think she'll have a lot of success there. But again, as we've seen, she's no slouch on the ground either. We've seen her throw plenty of armbars attacks across all 3 of her fights. And the last fight, she got the armbar that ended up with an extra 50 G's in the bank account. So Shauna Bannon, I think she'll get her hand raised here. I think she just needs to implement her game that she's put together with Paddy Houlihan and Mr. Gary Rooney and Kaya Niemer. And I think once she actually does that, I think she's going to be safe for a few quid for us to throw down on her, I'd say.
Yeah, fair. That's a great take.
The Irish double, baby.
Also, we had Shauna Bannon on the show last week discussing her fight this weekend. So we'll put that at the end of the show. So make sure to check that out because she's always great crack to have on the show, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She's always a good laugh to have on the show, and if she's not laughing at us, she's laughing at herself. So she's a top one.
Another person who hates us. And then Rhys McKee is back. El Skeletor. Why do you think his fight was just announced this week? And he was waiting for an opponent for quite long.
Well, I think he had a variety of different opponents for this date, and they couldn't make it happen for one reason or another. I think one had a visa issue, and I think one got injured. So I think Rhys has been eyeing up this card for a while. And look, funny enough, he's also a slight underdog in this fight. Axel Sola, touching that we had Jordan Bradshaw on, he is the ARES lightweight champion. He's coming up a weight class to take on Rhys McKee. I don't know too much about Axel Sola, but I do know coming up a weight class to fight the likes of Rhys McKee in your UFC debut is probably not best advised. I think Rhys McKee has an awful lot of power. I watched one of Axel Sola's fights and I thought, I don't really fancy his chance against Rhys McKee. I think Rhys McKee is going to be able to put him away with strikes. Obviously, in Rhys McKee's last fight against Daniel Frunze, he got the stoppage at the end of first round. Frunze couldn't come out for the second round. So that just goes to show the damage Rhys McKee is capable of doing. It. We've seen it against Jimmy Wallhead. We've seen it against Justin Burlington. Rhys McKee comes in with bad intentions throwing those shots, which is funny because outside the cage, he's probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in your life. But once that cage door closes, that man throws everything with bad intentions, and he's there to put your lights out. Every single one of that guy's wins have come by stoppage. He'll be looking to keep that 100% finish rate alive, and I cannot wait to watch Rhys McKee fight. He is definitely one of my favorite, if not my favorite Irish fighter to watch.
Yeah, he's definitely in my top 100 favorite Irish fighters to watch, Ross. And shout out to Big Marcel for announcing that fight as well, because when we put the poster out about it, it was energizing, one would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it sort of came up this week that some people aren't happy when we post fights, and people have got annoyed us in the past. But all I'll say is we've never been wrong. So anything we've ever posted out, we actually always do have a source, believe it or not. Just to sort of give you our background, if you are new here, myself and Barry have previously worked for 2.5 years with UFC Fight Pass. So we have an abundance of contacts within the UFC. We also know basically every head coach in every MMA gym in the country. We also have great relationships with fighters, and we also know people in a lot of organizations. Like obviously we do a lot of work with Cage Warriors. We speak to PFL execs. We speak to some of the top guys in Octagon, some of the top guys in KSW, even though there's not that many Irish people there. Like every promotion there is, we know someone who is very high up in them. We get leaked information. We get told to post fights prior to the promotion posting fights. That happens on a regular occurrence. If that like annoys a fighter, like so be it. But we're here to promote Irish MMA. We're here to tell people, the Irish fans, the news of what's going on. I don't see people getting in Fabrizio Romano's DMs or posting his post being like, why did you announce that transfer before it happened? You know what I mean? They should announce that transfer themselves. Or I don't see when Ariel Helwani announced the fight, I don't see people giving out to him. So at the end of the day, we're giving the information. The information has never been incorrect. We've always been right. It is what it is. And also, there are certain fights, like there's certain fights that we know are true, and we don't post them in advance. Just to give you an example, Kiko versus Dane McKenna, we knew that was happening 3 days before it surfaced anywhere, and we were told that. We actually had a fight poster already made for that fight before that was made. It was actually a fight poster that a fan actually suggested when we were putting up the posts of fans would suggest, and said it to both parties, and one of the parties asked us not to say anything, so therefore we didn't say anything, and we let Cage Warriors post it instead. So like if you're afraid of us posting something before it happening, then actually just reach out to us in advance. And if you ask us not to post anything, we've also taken stuff down that we shouldn't have actually taken down because we were asked to take stuff down before. So at the end of the day, we're never wrong is the first point. And second point is, if you're unhappy with us or you don't want us to post something in advance, well then let us know and we can have a chat about it. But don't come for us after the fact when we're getting information straight from the source, and you can pretend that we don't have the sources when we do. If we're wrong, then you can come for us, but that's never happened.
Most of the time, my fight picks are wrong, though, Ross.
Your fight picks are terrible, Baz, but you know what I mean? That we don't have concrete evidence of the fact what the result's going to be. So it is what it is. Like, look, I think that fairly addresses it. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'll just say this: we promote Irish MMA harder and more often than anyone else in this entire country. Every pro fighter gets massive promotion off us in the build up to the pro fights. All the Irish shows get promotion from us in the build up to their fights. All the Irish amateurs, like we probably messaged every single one before, just to say best luck, or we're keeping an eye on you, or maybe even a hard look after they lost. We've messaged absolutely everyone. I don't think there's another MMA media outlet in the country who is all over Irish MMA as we are. And if we walked away tomorrow, who would do it? I don't think there'd be anyone there to do it. So like, I'm not looking for any kudos. That doesn't really bother me. Like, we're not in this for that. But I think hating on us is not the best way to help build Irish MMA.
Yeah, and in fairness, we don't hate any Irish fighters.
The funny thing is, the people who are annoyed with us, we still wish them best luck and give them the same promotion anyway, because that's what we do. and I want them to win as well. So like
a desperate ex, mate.
Put it this way: we bring the same energy in person as we do when we're making our content, and what's called our energy is always pro Irish MMA.
Exactly, man. Look, we do this because we love this, and look, it wouldn't be right if we didn't put out the fights that were announced and told to us to put out as well. Because at the end of the day, the more people that know about people fighting, the better. Because like, look, if you have a fight coming up and nobody knows, well, that doesn't really help you at all. So like we're here to help grow the scene. We're doing this nearly 10 years now. So look, we haven't changed in 10 years and we don't expect to change in the next 50, Ross.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't changed. You know where we are. We promote every pro fighter in the country. We actually promote quite a lot of the amateur fighters as well in the country. You know what I mean? Week in, week out, we're telling you who's fighting this weekend, where they're fighting. A lot of people message us asking how to watch the fights, and we'll message them that as well, or where can they watch it. Like, we also get like people who are in their fighters' teams asking us what was the result of that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens every weekend, so, and we do our best to get back to people. You know what I mean? And then like even recently, like we've had people being like, "Oh, can you make me a poster for this? Make me a poster for that?" And like we try and accommodate where we can. Well, we try our best. You know what I mean? And like we're not paid to do this, so like, you know what I mean? Maybe just have a little bit of respect for what we bring to the Irish MMA scene.
Yeah, both full-time jobs. Ross has 10 kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And
this is like another
socialize, Ross. And socialize.
This is like another full-time job. And with that being
yeah.
said, shout out to Or Kings for supporting us with the show. Really appreciate that. Makes it a lot easier to do. Definitely cuts some of the expenses out of doing the show. And then shout out to Akuma for having us involved in that show. And then shout out to ADCC who are bringing us on board for that show September 27th. But we will still be at Cage Warriors for anyone who's concerned about that as well. We'll be double jobbing it, baby.
Yeah, shout out to our Kings, because what happened was when we didn't do a show for like over a month, my laptop just broke randomly. Like it cost like 800 quid to fix, so it was absolutely frightening. So shout out to our Kings. And yes, Ross, the biggest collab in Irish Jiu-Jitsu history, Energized X ADCC Ireland. Ross, what you make of that partnership, bud?
I think it's great. I think it's also good for us because it's a challenge for us to get into the jiu-jitsu space. But I also think there's some top-of-the-range jiu-jitsu practitioners in this country who maybe don't get the spotlight and the credit they deserve. So we're going to look to change that with ADCC. Dublin come September 27th in the build-up, and you'll see content starting to come from us this week on that. And look, I'm really looking forward to doing it. I'm looking forward to working with Kieran Davin and the guys over at ADCC Ireland. I think it's going to be an absolute match made in heaven, Baz. But we will get back to UFC Paris. Baz, tell me 2 other fights on this card that you're looking forward to watching, because this is a stacked card for the European fans.
This is actually a very French show today. We should have brought the berets, but
we should have.
The Irish Braves, man, left them in French class. Right, I'm just gonna say a fight that I am definitely interested in is Benoit Saint-Denis against Mauricio Rufy. Like obviously Benoit Saint-Denis got a massive push there recently until he lost against Dustin Poirier, and like people are saying Rufy's a lot like Conor McGregor. So I think this one is going to be a huge fight to watch. And another one is the all Great British matchup between Modestas Bukauskas versus Paul Craig in the light heavyweight division. Both lads are looking very good. Obviously, Modestas came back off that horrific leg injury, and then Paul Craig, he's back up to light heavyweight now. He talks a lot about his mental health and stuff, which is very eye-opening, especially when when a lot of people look at fighters and they just think that they're just bulletproof in the mind. But Paul Craig's doing great things for the scene, and this one is a big one to see who the light heavyweight number 1 is in Great Britain. Also, both lads have fantastic new fucking hairlines thanks to their hair transplants. So they're both looking very handsome. Probably the most handsomest fight in this weekend, bar Rhys and his opponent.
There we have it, Baz. I'm going to give you 2 as well. Patricio Pitbull is back in action. He's fighting Lawson Keita. Lawson Keita is a Belgian fighter who was the Octagon lightweight champion. So he's 16-1. So I think that one's going to be really interesting to see. And then Marcin Tybura is fighting Ante Dejala. Ante Dejala is another man coming out of that Tomas Aspinall camp. He is a former PFL champion. So I think that's definitely one to watch out for. He's also Croatian. So let's see if he can send anyone to the cemetery, Mirko Krokop style. So yeah, great card to watch. It'll be on at a reasonable time. We love it. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to support Shauna and Rhys do their thing. Yeah. But that's not the only fight happening in Europe this weekend. MMA Gala is taking place in Bromby. Lewis Byrne, Liu Jitsu, is fighting in a lightweight bout. In the featherweight bout. He is taking on Abbas Zaid, who's a BJJ black belt from Norway. Lewis Byrne will be looking to go 3-0, so definitely keep an eye out for that one. And then Keane County is in the main event, and he is defending his welterweight title that he won over there last time via TKO. So let's see, can Keane County put on a Warrior Muay Thai clinic like we saw in the last fight? Some of those kicks that he was landing to his opponent on the ground last time were absolutely vicious, and I can't wait to see him again. Keane County is back in action this weekend as well, Basmo. It's going to be an absolute action-packed weekend. I am buzzing for it. Are you buzzing for it?
Yeah, man. It's like anytime the Irish fighters are fighting in the UFC, let alone two of them, it's going to be absolutely epic. And also for the people that just can't wait till Saturday to watch the fights, Friday night in the Tree Arena, Mick Conlon is back in action. So make sure to check that out as well. And Ross, also shout out to Darren Till, who got the knockout victory against Luke Rockhold.
Yeah, that was actually a vicious knockout. Unbelievable stuff. Maybe we'll do what's next for Darren Till poll on the old Energized show. Who knows?
Man, epic as always. But,
you'll have to tell me who it's going to be. We'll do that.
Dylan Dennis or Joey Essex, man.
Also, I have to pick this weekend, don't I?
You do.
Imavov versus Borja. Put me down for Borja. I'm a fighting nerd. He's a fighting nerd. We're going team fighting nerds.
Okay, we'll do.
I think that's one of the most 50-50 main events in the world, though, in fairness, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge fight. I think Imavov's probably the favorite, to be honest.
And there we have it.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably happy with that pick then.
Yeah, well, I usually guess wrong, man. You know this. As I said, all that action is going down this weekend. Mick Conlon fighting the Tree Arena Friday night. Shauna Bannon, Rhys McKee, UFC Paris, MMA Gala in Bromby. King Cowley defends his title, and Lewis Byrne will be fighting as well. And then make sure to come back next week because we have another great guest lined up ahead of the UFC's being back. Crocker versus Donovan on the same night. Canelo versus Crawford will also be going down as well. And Callum Walsh is also meant to be on that card as well. And then Cage Warriors 193 Newcastle, Jordan O'Neill and Matthew Elliott, both from FAI, will be competing as well. And who knows who else will be fighting on that event as well. Ross, anything else you have to say before we wrap up this epic Energized show?
Yeah, all I have to say is thank you all for your all your love and support over the last decade. It's been unbelievable. Please do continue to show us that love. If you want to continue to show the lads that love, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and as always, stay energized.
The Energized Show, up the Irish. It's the face that runs the place, Chaos Curtis. I want to thank the Irish MMA community so much for getting behind me. You up the Chaos Cartel.